All right, so now we're going to tackle this filter by input box. So remember, our filter box, our input box is tied to our list filter property. And so the idea that we are going to tackle next is if the user types in something like the word rake, then only the rake product should be shown in our TRs here. If they type in AM, for example, AM matches two patterns of that string in our product name. In other words, hammer has an AM in it, and so does video game controller. And so therefore we only want, or we want two products to be showing that match the AM. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create another property that we're going to call filtered products, which is also going to be an array. And it's going to be an array of iProducts, which is just like we've done below in the type and not talk. There we go. Okay, and so it is going to be an array of products, and the idea that we're moving forward with is that our TR is going to be bound to filtered products instead of products. The idea being that when the page first loads, filter products is going to be products. These two are going to be the same, so that way all of our images, all of our products are being displayed. But as a user types something in, whatever product names matches that string, that input string, we're going to recreate our filtered products to match what the user's typing in. And so only the matches are going to be in our filtered products array. So therefore, only the products that match the input string is what's going to be displayed. So in a long-winded speech, initially when this page loads, filtered products and products are going to have the same products in it. In other words, all of the products. And then as a user types something in, we're going to have code that will look to match whatever they type in into the product name. If there's a match to the string pattern, that product will be put into filtered products, which then is going to be displayed on our page. So in order to make that happen then, first of all, we need our NG4 here to be bound to the filtered products instead of the products. So this needs to be filtered products and not products. And at the moment, when this page first renders, filtered products is a blank array and products is now full of the products, but because our TR is bound to filtered products, nothing is showing up. So that seems to be like not a big deal, because we can just set this to this.products to make them the same when we first load this page. So that seems like a no-brainer, except now we're getting some squiggly red lines, and the error is saying that, well, you've tried to access the products array before it was actually created. So I don't know what that is. So that's not a problem then. We will move filtered products, cutting it, putting it below our products array, and then I'm going to declare it here. Okay, that seems like a good solution. And so now in fact we're seeing filtered products is our full of products. So that seems like a good solution, but I'm going to introduce you to another concept, and that is called constructors. So I'm going to write the word constructor. And the idea behind constructors are when this component is first created, when what's called instantiated, when the browser first creates the component and puts it up in the browser, the constructor runs automatically. The constructor has been running automatically behind the scenes for us all the time. Constructors always run when an object or when this component was first created. But because we haven't done anything with constructors, we haven't actually seen the word constructor in parentheses and an open, close, and curly brace, which is, by the way, a function, in case you didn't recognize that. So the idea behind constructors is a way for us to initialize things at the moment in time that that component is instantiated or created. And so what I propose is that we'll still have this property, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize my filtered products at the time the constructor runs, at the time that the component is actually created. And so I'm going to say this dot filtered products, and we'll be dealing with constructors more, so that's why I'm kind of introducing it to you now. Well, it's an easier way to understand. So this dot filtered products is equal to this dot products. So that's going to do the same thing we did a little earlier. There we go. And you're going to ask me, well, why can't I just initialize it like we did before? Well, I honor that question, and I'm asking you to hold on to it because you'll see where constructors come into play again a little bit later on in some of our videos. But right now I want you to understand, if you don't have already dealt with constructors in some of your other languages, that recognize that a constructor is always running. There's always a constructor that runs whenever you first create an object. In our case, when our component is first created, we just haven't seen it because we haven't done anything with it. But now we're saying, okay, when you run your constructor, now we want you to do something additional to before that it ran but nothing happened. But now when you run the constructor, when you create that object, then I also want to initialize our filtered products to our products array. And so we're going to go forward with this. But for the moment, this video was intended to introduce you to a constructor. And we're using our constructor to initialize our filtered products to our full products array. So when our page first loads, we are now binding our rows to filtered products instead of just the products, so that we can make some adjustments to it in the next videos when we actually do some filtering.